Hey everyone, welcome to the Hey Hannah podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Maya Fields, but to my friends and those who know me well, I'm just Maya. I'm a higher education administrator, a mother, and a wife of 14 amazing years. But above all, I'm a Christ follower. This podcast is a special platform created to honor the memory of my beloved daughter, Hannah. It's here that I have the chance to have the conversations that I never got to have with her, to share the wisdom and love I wish I could have passed on. It's a reminder to cherish the precious moments we're given and a testament to the power of healing, hope, and personal growth. If you're someone who's seeking personal growth, inspiration, and practical advice to build a solid foundation for a successful and fulfilling life, this is the place for you. Join me as we honor Hannah's memory together. Laugh, cry, and learn. Get ready for a podcast that is so much more than you could ever imagine. The Hey Hannah podcast, healing hearts, one conversation at a time. Everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Hey Hannah podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Maya here, and we are talking tonight about some insights and having a discussion about illuminating your path to personal growth and new opportunities. So we're going to dive into some truly transformative information with our topic of self-improvement through continuous learning. Now, in a world that's rapidly evolving, the value of lifelong learning just really can't be overstated. It's all about being able to adapt, grow, and seize the new opportunities that weren't available yesterday. I'm sure a lot of you can see the current trends with just positions or careers that are available now that were not an option when you were younger. So that's just evidence as to how quickly things are changing. So let's explore how embracing a learning mindset can lead not just to personal fulfillment, but also to an exciting career in different prospects. So first, let's talk about why continuous learning is essential. In our digital age, resources are at our fingertips, which is amazing. You have all these platforms like LinkedIn Learning, TED Talks, YouTube, all those platforms, and many other ones that I'm sure you know a ton about or have heard of, make it easier than ever just to really acquire new skills and knowledge, just really with the click of a button, virtually in any field, which is amazing. These tools are not just supplementary, for many, they are main avenues of education and professional development. So it really just shows you how the educational landscape is continuing to change. But there are trends with different areas that are referred to as upskilling or reskilling. And it really just emphasizes the importance of continuously developing new skills and updating the existing skills that you have so you can stay relevant, you stay competitive in a fast-paced and really just ever-changing job market. It also reflects a broader societal shift towards lifelong learning, which is really driven by rapid technology advancements in changing work environments. So, just to kind of hit a few areas to emphasize why catching on to this trend early is so important. The first thing is economic shifts. There is a rise of automation. If you have not noticed, AI is on the rise. Digital technologies are really transforming so many different industries, making lifelong learning crucial just for the sake of job security. No longer can we sit back and, we did our training 20 years ago and we're continuing to do our job based on those things. As AI continues to improve and implement new aspects in our professions, we have to make sure that we are keeping up and staying on top of things. As the technological advances continue to come. So that's not to be scary. I know some people are apprehensive about AI, and I get that, but knowing that we see a continuous incorporation of AI, that should be even more of an encouragement for you to make sure that you're making lifelong learning a priority. Now, aside from this, personal development, really just continuous learning. It's not just about, professional growth, but it's also about personal enrichment. Helping yourself to adapt to new challenges and just improve your overall quality of life. I know one thing that's been on my lifelong learning list for years is still there. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna grasp it eventually. But I want to be able to successfully master a new language. I've tried Rosetta Stone and a few other apps. It is a difficult task to use, so hats off to all of you who speak more than one language already. Um, but that's something on my list that I want to do. It just keeps my brain working. It's something that I feel like would be a wonderful accomplishment. And it's just ultimately a goal of mine, something that I want to be able to do. So, continuous learning, as I mentioned, it helps us to stay relevant in our careers. It broadens our understanding of the world, and it also enhances our problem solving ability. It encourages flexibility and adaptability, which are all key traits that are needed in today's job market. A lot of times we can find ourselves being frustrated, or when we experience areas of frustration with our job, a lot of times if we think about it, it has to do with interrupting the norm. There's a new policy, there's a new supervisor, there's a new way of doing things because it's easy. I think it's the natural order of things for us just to want to settle and comfort and be like, this is how we're doing it. I don't have to change anything. But a part of that when you get into autopilot is you're not flexing your mind to think of new processes and to engage in different ways, which are all things that help us to sharpen our problem solving abilities. So while we do aim for comfort and the autopilot feature, so to speak, um, there are some benefits to disrupting our norm. And so, that strengthening our brains and kind of flexing that muscle of thinking outside of the box is really some of the benefits that should be at the top of our list when we're thinking about changing up things a bit. Now, let's consider some lucrative careers that don't require a traditional college degree. And this is important, especially when we're talking about a lot of these educational platforms that are out there. While they are fun to engage in, YouTube videos, TED Talks, all those types of things, people are actually getting themselves into careers based on these educational platforms that are available. I'm not sure if you're aware, but many tech companies, including tech giants like Google and Apple, they no longer require degrees for many of their positions. Instead, they are valuing actual skills, your ability to be able to do a thing, which can be developed through certifications and diplomas from learning platforms. So hopefully that piqued your interest a little bit. And so there are definitely some monetary benefits to engaging in continuous learning. And aside from having fun with learning some new things, this can really be a life changing opportunity for some of you who decide to take advantage of some various lifelong learning aspects. Now, continuous learning often leads to higher qualifications and certifications, which obviously can open the door to better job opportunities. So, for instance, if you acquire some skills in high demand areas like data analysis, project management, or digital marketing, they can significantly boost your salary. According to research, I think it was by the Association for Talent Development, organizations that offer comprehensive training programs have a 218% higher income per employee than those without formalized training rather. So employees who participate in these programs enjoy a 15% increase in earnings on average. So those are some pretty staggering figures. And that is all based on your internal drive to continue to want to learn and take advantage of these learning opportunities that are available. Now, investing in continuous learning, it does make you, as an employee, and not just an employee, really as an individual, more likely to get promotions, get additional opportunities, assume leadership roles within your organization. And that progression typically comes, obviously, with increased responsibilities, but also in many cases, higher pay, which in this economy is a triple check mark. Um, so, for example, earning an advanced certificate in your field could possibly lead to a management position that might offer a 20 to 30% higher salary compared to non-managerial roles. So these are realistic things that could happen as a result of you taking initiative with lifelong learning opportunities. And I'm telling you, there's so much untapped potential out there. As I mentioned, from LinkedIn Learning, YouTube, Coursera, even TikTok. But there are just so many opportunities to be able to gain new skills just in these open educational platforms. Now, the more skills you have, obviously, the more indispensable you become to your employer. So that's another benefit of engaging in lifelong learning. Often you'll see individuals who are really taking advantage of these skills that they're able to pick up on these various educational platforms. They can adapt more easily and become more proactive. And as my parents used to say when I was younger, they really become a professional and making themselves useful because they're gaining so many highly valuable skills that's important in the modern workplace. This type of adaptability really can lead to greater job security, and it reduces the likelihood of layoffs and unemployment for individuals like this because it's showcasing strong initiative and it's also showcasing an individual who's able to pick up the necessary skills to continue to advance the organization. That is a win-win. It's a win for you because you as the individual are picking up those particular skills. And it's a win for the organization because they have someone who they know they can depend on to continue to make themselves marketable for the organization. Now, aside from this, continuous learning also empowers you with different freelance and side hustle opportunities. We are in the age of the side hustle. So many people are starting their own businesses or just engaging in various side hustles to bring in additional income. But for example, learning web development, this can allow you to start freelance opportunities for individuals who are starting businesses and need websites and things like that. This is a lot of earning potential that's really out there, especially if you're looking at $50 to $150 per hour, depending on the complexity of your work, for building websites for everyone else who's starting a business. And that is something that you can realistically learn from free educational platforms. Continuing to make yourself marketable and be able to build those different skills really just sets yourself up for long-term financial benefits because no matter what comes and how things continue to evolve, if you go ahead and adapt that mindset of I am always going to continue to learn the different things that are available, I'm committing to staying on top of technology, you'll be able to continue to offer things to your organizations, to your local community and your local economy that will make you always a benefit to those around you. Now, careers like web development, digital marketing, data analysis, all of these career paths, they can be quickly entered through boot camps or online courses, things of that nature. I had an episode with the individual who started an organization called Brainy Tech Academy. This individual was talking about how you can get into IT, which was nearly a free opportunity for individuals, and really take off in that field and make a decent income and a lot of growth potential, really just from taking advantage of the opportunity. I will link it in the comments. You can go back and listen to that episode. It is a wonderful opportunity that you want to take advantage of, especially if you're looking for what's a new area that I can jump into and see some financial benefits. That was one of them. These roles, they not only provide competitive salaries, but also a lot of these positions offer flexibility to work remotely, which really just opens up a ton of possibilities because you're not just tethered to one place anymore. Obviously, lifelong learning is not just about making more money or landing a job without a degree. One of the most important things is it is about enriching your life. Continuous learning, it really fosters a deeper sense of satisfaction. It can help you discover passions that you never even knew you had and lead you to a career that feels more like a calling than a job. There's also several health benefits, enhanced mental health because you're engaging in continuous learning activities, which help you manage stress, boost your self esteem when you're accomplishing some things, and increase your overall life satisfaction. I mentioned working that mental muscle. There's definitely a lot of research that shows cognitive benefits to lifelong learning. You're having the opportunity to continue to interact socially, which in this time, post COVID, we really have to be intentional about interacting socially because a lot of us have been able to adapt to doing so many things remotely that we don't necessarily have to engage as much. So we're losing those opportunities. But lifelong learning gives you another social interaction opportunity. Aside from that, it really helps you with a sense of purpose and accomplishment. I know a lot of times it's like, well, I feel, some people may think, well, I have a strong sense of purpose or accomplishment. This may be absolutely true. But there are people, and this is absolutely normal, where you go through waves of feeling like, what have I accomplished? What am I contributing? When you are engaging and continuing to learn new skills and being able to implement your talents in different areas, not only are you fulfilled from being a help and a blessing to other people, but you'll find fulfillment in your ability to be able to master and, really check off new tasks. You'd be so surprised at how much you are able to master just by getting involved and committing to learning new things and applying yourself in new ways. So for those of you that are looking to get started, you're listening to all of this and you're like, okay, well, what do I do next? I encourage you to start small with some achievable goals. Choose a platform that you feel is going to be beneficial. So maybe start with a free course on YouTube or a TED Talk that really piques your interest. The key is to make learning a daily habit, even if it's just 15 minutes a day. There is a TED Talk I'll recommend to you. It's called The Power of Believing That You Can Improve by Carol Dweck. She has a ton of other books. A ton of books out there. So if you listen to this TED Talk and you feel so moved, you can continue to follow Carol. She has a lot of other resources out there. But this talk dives into the growth mindset, which is really a crucial concept for anyone committed to lifelong learning and self-improvement. So that's just my suggestion if you decide to jump into the TED Talk as a place to start. But the key is, as I mentioned, to make learning a daily habit, even if it's just 15 minutes a day. If you're thinking, I don't have a ton of time, that is absolutely fine. Start small and watch as you continue to grow. You may start with 15 minutes and then before you know it, you're getting so excited, you're getting so energized, you're accomplishing so much that you're up to 45 minutes or an hour a day. Whatever it is, you'll continue to see all of the many benefits that I mentioned as you progress and continuing to learn new skills. So remember that the journey of learning should also include sharing. Discuss what you learn with others. Teach the concepts. I know you probably remember when you were younger, you heard the phrase, the best way to learn something or to, make sure that you fully grasp it is to teach it to someone else. Teach the concepts that you're learning. Talk about them in conversation. Create content around your new knowledge. As I mentioned, so much technology is at our fingertips. So as you're learning, make additional YouTube videos for someone else. Write blog posts for someone else so they can learn the things that you're learning too. So not only are you putting the content out there, but you are also making sure that you yourself have mastered the content, and it's another sense of accomplishment for you. Teaching is a powerful method to deepen your own understanding and also to solidify your skills. So as we wrap up today's episode, I encourage each of you to reflect on how you can incorporate continuous learning into your life. What steps will you take this week to learn something new? And how will you use this knowledge to improve your life or the lives of others around you? Thank you for tuning in to today's episode on the Hey Hannah podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with someone who can use some encouragement and practical tips on embracing continuous learning. Let's keep the conversation going. Connect with us on social media and share your learning journey. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and we have recently joined LinkedIn, all under Hey Hannah Podcast. So we will be here the same place, same time next week. So make sure that you keep learning, keep growing, and keep moving forward. Take care.
And that's it. I'm out of here.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Hey Hannah podcast. We hope that you found inspiration, insight, and encouragement in our conversation today. If you enjoyed this episode and want to stay connected with us, be sure to like, subscribe, and review the Hey Hannah podcast. Your feedback helps us reach more people and spread our message of love and wisdom. You can also follow us on social media at Hey Hannah Podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to stay updated on all the latest episodes, behind-the-scenes exclusives, and engaging content. And for those of you who prefer the visual experience, catch the video versions of our podcast on our YouTube channel. Just search Hey Hannah Podcast and hit that subscribe button to never miss an episode. For even more Hey Hannah goodness, visit our website at www.heyhannahpodcast.com. There you'll find updates, bonus content, and join a community that embraces you with open arms. Your continued support truly means the world to us. Together, let's spread love, share wisdom, and honor every precious moment. Because here at Hey Hannah, we believe that life is meant to be lived well. Remember, a new episode of the Hey Hannah podcast is released every Wednesday, so mark your calendars and be sure to tune in. Thank you again for being a part of Hannah's Hive. Until next time, take care.
Entertainment. Entertainment.